Hi, and welcome to Saturday Fun Day with Connie. Today, my guest star is the fabulous Setta with Setta's Place. How are you doing today, Setta?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you so much for coming live with me.
Mhm.
Let's see. Today, not too much is going on here today. Plan to work on my row for my temperature blanket this afternoon, and then work on the post-virus shawl back
Mhm.
with pattern. Plan to work on that. I don't think I'll finish it this week,
Mhm.
but I'm hoping to get it finished by the following week.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have 4 days of the week that I work on crochet and 3 days that I'll work on knitting.
Oh,
So
okay.
I alternate. Um, so it usually takes me double the amount of time to get a project finished
Mhm.
because I work on both crafts.
Good idea to keep you from getting off bored with one thing. You switch to the next. Cool.
It started out that like whenever I first started my channel,
Mhm.
if I wasn't working on anything knitting, I didn't really have anything to show on my knitting videos. Um,
Yeah.
how am I gonna do this? And then I had concerns too that once I learned how to crochet, I didn't want to get away from knitting.
Yeah.
So then that's when I came up with the plan to work on crochet certain days, knitting other days, and it seems to work for me.
Oh, good. Good.
Let's see, we have Dee and Kathy here. How are y'all doing today? And what are y'all currently working on? So, I have some jokes for y'all, and today's jokes are cat jokes. So, I hope y'all get a good laugh out of these. The first one is, why don't cats play poker in the jungle? Set us thinking.
Mhm. I don't know.
Too many cheetahs.
Oh, that's cute.
Instead of cheaters, cheetahs.
For you.
And this one I love. The one I'm about to tell y'all. Oh, why was the cat sitting on the computer?
I bet you something to do with the mouse. He was trying to catch a
Yeah.
mouse.
To keep an eye on the mouse.
Oh, I was close. I was close.
And the last joke I have is, why are cats good at video games?
Hmm. I have 9 lives. I didn't. I didn't. You didn't help me. I got it. No, you didn't help with
I
that.
was
But
giving hints
yeah.
today. Let's see. D is crocheting glorious granny squares.
Thank you.
And that's one thing. I still really have not done granny squares yet.
Okay.
The closest is the peppermints for that peppermint blanket, but
Mhm.
they're it's kind of the same concept, but it's round.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the blanket that
That's
I
true.
probably gonna take forever to finish. It's in timeout right now. Let's see. Kathy says she just finished a Japanese knot bag by Bag O Day.
I love that. I've done that one too. I loved it.
Bag O Day has so many beautiful patterns.
Yes, yes, she
Oh,
does.
I've I've been working on a lot of her shawl patterns lately. I had just finished the Love of My Life shawl last
Mhm.
week. Now I'm working on the post virus shawl. Now, when I finish that, I don't know what I'm going to get into next. I got to figure out what I'm going to make next. If it's going to be a shawl, might do a gnome. And then with knitting, I'm working on the climbing ivy shawl, and I should have that finished for next Friday. And then after that, I'm going to start on the peacock shawl that I've been wanting to start making. It is beautiful. Let me pull that pattern up for those that haven't seen it yet. Let's see. I'm trying to find it in my files. Okay, here it is. Okay. And time to share.
Okay.
Where? Okay, it's staring me right in the face. But look at how beautiful this pattern is.
That's beautiful.
It's like when I found this shawl, I fell in love with it.
Wow, that is a big project.
Yeah, I'm curious how long it's going to take me.
Very pretty.
But yeah, this is what I'm going to be knitting next.
Wow.
And let's see. Let me I'll show you the shawl that I'm currently knitting if I can find it. Just a minute.
Okay.
Okay, this is the one I'm currently working on.
Beautiful.
And I'm doing it in the what do you call that yarn?
That is
no, not mandala. What is that
ombre?
yarn?
The ombre, maybe.
It's a premier yarn. Why can't I think of the name of it?
Beautiful. I'd like, and that's that knitting also. You said.
Yeah, that's knitting.
Okay.
Oh, what is the name of that yarn? Momenti. That's it. Momenti. Oh. I could not think of it.
I'm not good enough knitting to do that yet. I'm just doing the straight old little,
Yeah. So that's what I've been working on. And Kathy's asking what we're both working on. So what are you working on, Setta?
Right now I am working on I can only show you a little piece of it because it's for my Star Trek themed videos I do. So I'm showing you just a little bit. So it'll be surprised that day. Star Trek project. Star Trek. I'm doing a tutorial for it too.
Ooh,
so this
cool.
Crochet part of it. And after I did a certain point, now I got to crochet, then show the next part.
Let's see. D saying I need 3 for Jeannie's live to learn just as you go. And Kathy says I did it with yarn I won in one of Karen's giveaways with the yarn that was named after her. I'm going to post it later on my Instagram. It's pink and purple. It's beautiful. Ooh, those are pretty colors. And we also have Doris that joined us and Crystal. How are y'all doing today? And what are y'all working on? And Dee says gorgeously complicated.
Yes.
But those complicated projects, when you finish them, it's just such a feeling of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. Imagine.
And usually you're learning new things. Mm-hmm. And let's see. Kathy says she loves your Star Trek videos.
Oh, thank you. I love doing them.
And Dee says, join us, you go granny squares. So, you want to go ahead and tell people more about yourself, your channel, what's going on your channel?
Okay. So my channel is Setta's Place. That's the crochet channel. And I recently started another channel called Setta's Place VSG. And that's all about my weight loss journey and surgery. But on the crochet channel, I am also about tea and travel. So I bring y'all along when I travel, like I'm in Virginia now, visiting my son. I crochet, like you couldn't tell all this yarn. This is my son's house, and I got this here. And I am working. I also do tea. I have a tea time that I do occasionally, and I have something special tea time coming up next week. So be sure to check it out starting tomorrow. And I'm learning to knit, and I did my first knitted. Well, not my very first. My very first knitted item was a washcloth that came out really good, but kind of. I've dabbled like last year. That's what I'm saying. But a actually good project, a good washcloth. But then I made for my calendar cow, this is the calendar. Each month there's a YouTuber or subscriber, and I used the colors to make an item. So this time it was Gary from Urban Yarns, and this is what I made. I knitted it.
Good job.
Isn't it awesome?
It's pretty.
Thank you. I'm so proud of myself. And I put a button on it. Where is it at? Oh, there's the button. And like a triangle bag or whatever you want to call it. But so my knitting's doing pretty good. I mean, it's just the regular, is it stockinette? Is that what it's called? You just
it looks like garter stitch.
Garter, one of them, whatever y'all call it. I just knitted. Not purl.
Yeah, that's garter.
This is knitted, yeah. So,
but the funny thing though is if you knit in the round and you go all the way around with knit stitches, then that's stockinette stitch.
Oh, okay. So okay.
But if you're doing like flat knitting, if it's all knit stitches, it's garter stitch.
Okay, so this is garter because I did it flat and then I put it together. I didn't know that. I'm learning some things. So I made that to match the calendar right there. So that's one of the things. So I'm doing a variety of things. And, I'm enjoying myself. And like I said, on my new channel, I am losing, weight after my surgery, and I go tell everyone about that. And it kind of flows over to this one because I'm making clothes, like I normally do, like my summer tops, but I get to make them smaller now. So I showed over there, but it's crochet, So it's my variety. I'm a variety person.
But I wish you luck on your weight loss journey.
Thank you. I am down almost 50 pounds now.
So. Ooh, go Setta.
Like, woohoo. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's me.
All right, let's see. We have Pam. Oh, you still going or?
No, I think I'm done.
Okay.
The main.
Okay. I didn't want to cut you off if you still had more that you were going to tell everybody.
That's it.
All right. We have Pam that joined us. Hi, Pam. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Doris has a few blankets and a shawl. And amigurumi dino for her son. Awesome. Oh, Kathy wants to know what your favorite stitch is.
Oh, my favorite stitch is front post and back post. I like the front post, back post. Or I guess it's still a double crochet, but I guess it's where you place it.
Yeah. Kind of like when you do the waistcoat stitch.
Yeah.
It's basically a single crochet, but you're just placing it a little different.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. I find like when I learn a new stitch, a lot of times it ends up becoming my favorite stitch at the time.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't say that I really have a per se favorite. I do love the waistcoat stitch though.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh. It's a tight stitch too. Tight stitch. For baskets and things like that. It's a really good one for that.
and like corner to corners
Oh,
pretty.
I like one or two. I'm
The
good on that.
virus stitch.
I never could get I did the virus stitch like with a tutorial, but to memorize it, I just could never get it. So I stopped trying.
Now, like if I'm working on a project,
Mhm.
I have my notes by me, but for
Yeah.
the most part, I tend to remember it, but I
Okay.
still have to look at my notes.
Yeah. Got so much going on in your brain. It's like can't retain it. Mhm.
Especially like at the beginning of the road. Like once I see, okay, this is how it works. Okay, did it
Yeah.
keep on going?
You got it.
Let's see. Everyone's telling you good luck on your journey.
Thank you. Thank you. Come on over and check it out. I got it. I recorded it a couple days before surgery, including surgery day, and every day, not every day, but at certain intervals afterward. And so you can come over and check it out.
Yeah, and if anyone isn't familiar with Setta, go check her channel. Well, her channel's out. Now I have her yarn channel linked to the top of the chat. It's pinned and also in the description box. So what's the name of the weight loss one?
It's Setta's Place VSG because that's the name of the surgery. There's vertical sleeve gastrectomy, so it's just VSG. Setta's Place. I just made it easy. Same name at the little left.
Actually, whenever I was trying to pull up your link, doing the tagging,
Uh-huh.
it's like I think they did try to come up with the other one, and I was
Okay.
like, it confused me. I'm like, no, her channel is just Sarah's Place, and then I started typing it again, and it came up like that. And I was like, oh, okay.
And I'm also doing a 10,000 step challenge over there for the month of July. So I've made it almost every day over 10,000 or over steps. So, and you don't have surgery for that. That's just to be able to move and, energize yourself. So if anyone else wants to join the walk or steps or move, come on over.
Yeah, it's like I had a Fitbit.
Mm-hmm.
Keep track of the steps.
Yeah. I got my watch. I can't wear the watch when I'm crocheting because it adds steps because your arm is going like this. So
Yeah, like
everybody, I take it off, so I'm not counting steps while I'm crocheting.
yeah, because there was one time I think I was stirring something, and
Yeah,
it counted
your
steps.
goal was met, and you just like stirring the ball.
Or if you're doing things where you're not moving your arms when you're
Mm-hmm.
walking, it
Yeah,
tends not to count though.
doesn't count it. So I make sure I move my arms when I'm walking, or like holding the basket in the store and walking. I was like, I move my arms, so I'm walking. So I want it counted.
Now, one thing I used to do whenever I would ride my bike, I would
Mm-hmm.
put the Fitbit in my sock.
Yeah, that's a good idea because it's getting your feet moving.
Now in the store, I tended to put it in my pocket.
Well, that's a good idea. So it feels the movement. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Let's see, we have Laura Lee and Samantha that joined us. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? And let's see. Okay, Pam says I'm good. I've been making do rags for Granny D's challenge, and I started making a bag last night. It it's made it's a make it up as I go, so it may be a hot mess when it's done.
Those are the kind sometimes, them hot mess ones. It's like, oh, that's
And Pam is saying it looks like she's asking you a question. When you were doing your daily craft videos, my cat Charlie was mesmerized by one of them. The cross stitch one, I believe it was. He was sleeping and sat up and watched for about 10 minutes. Aww.
yeah.
That's one thing. Like, you know how cats tend to like watching videos and stuff? Mine don't. They don't really watch TV.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that. You know, I think was it you who posted a picture of the cat. I think the cat was on the iPad, and the foot was on the iPad and was watching the video. I can't remember who it was.
Was it me?
Okay, I remember seeing it
I don't
somewhere.
think it was. But yeah. And every cat is different. That's what's so funny.
Yeah,
All their personalities are so different.
yeah. I hang around more doggies than kitties, but I know people with kitties.
Let's see, Laura Lee saying she's cleaning the house instead of frogging. My count is off, and I'd rather clean than frog. Yeah, frogging is like one of the most discouraging things.
Yeah, it's like it's in reverse. Like, no, it's supposed to get bigger, not smaller. Could you take it?
Pam says her cats don't usually watch either, but something about that video caught his attention. Aww.
Oh, cool.
All right. I'm gonna ask some questions, and me and Setta will share our answers, and those in the chat, share y'all answers too. If you're watching the replay, feel free to answer them in the comments section. So, what are your favorite holiday items to crochet and or knit?
You go first while I think.
For me, I love making holiday beanies. I it's like I have made so many different holiday beanies. I have like beanies for pretty much every holiday. And one
Okay.
thing that I want to start getting into is making gnomes, the holiday gnomes.
Oh, okay. That'd be cute. Let's see. For me, I enjoyed making the stockings. The sock stockings.
Yeah, those are cute.
For the puppies, my son's puppies. I made one for each one, and I really enjoyed making that. And so I think things like that for me.
And like my favorite holiday stuff is Christmas.
Yeah, that's Christmas is what I was thinking about. Yeah.
And I think most people will probably say Christmas. And I get the feeling Halloween's probably the second favorite.
Yeah, a lot of different options.
I know I'm ready for Halloween time to start. I want to make some Halloween makes.
Okay.
Let's see. Dee says her Pomchi loves watching Mickey Mouse cartoons. Oh, Laura Lee says her dog was watching Miguel's Roosters on the big screen the other night. It was fun. Aw. Shad cats and doggies.
Yeah.
And let's see, we have Joanne that joined us. Hi, Joanne. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? Okay, Dee says her favorite holiday makes are knit socks and bobble hats, crocheting scarves and gloves. Oh, speaking of gloves, August 1st, I'm gonna be doing a video showing y'all my Yorny friends makes when it comes to like fingerless gloves and mittens. So if y'all have ever made any of those items, get y'all pictures in. And I plan to do a video on that. So far I haven't gotten many pictures. So because if I don't have enough pictures to do a video, then I'll just share them. Like if it's crochet items, I'll put it in a crochet video. If it's knit items, I'll put it in a knitting video. If I don't get that many pictures. But and then of course the finished projects video. It's the 15th of the month.
Okay.
So that's like pretty much whatever you make, like recent things you've made. I have a lot of picture stuff going on. Monday, I will be on my Monday live. I'll be talking about number 3 weighted yarn. And if y'all have ever made stuff with number 3 weighted yarn, today's the last day to submit your pictures. Tomorrow I'm going to be making the little video for the live. And I think that's all the picture stuff. I have a thing for pictures.
Yeah.
I love seeing like what everyone makes and stuff like that.
I know what you mean.
Let's see. Crystal says her favorite is Thanksgiving, then Christmas. Turkey hats. I made a couple of turkey hats. Let's see. We also have Spring that joined us. Hi, Spring. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? Joanne says she's working on a cow and some pumpkins. Ooh, nice. Yeah, Dee, I did get your pictures and I responded to your email this morning. And you had some beautiful makes. And thanks so much for sharing. And she says she has to get gloves out yet. Yeah, oh, there is another thing too for pictures that I forgot to mention. The Southern Crocheters on our next live in August, the third Wednesday. I don't know what day that is offhand, but we're asking people to share quick and easy things that they've made. So that's another picture thing. Spring says currently working on an afternoon nap.
I'm talking.
And you know what's funny? Like I try not to take naps because I feel like I waste the day when I do. But then I have like sometimes I have days where I just cannot keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's like I sleep the day away. All right, so the next question I have is what is your favorite crochet and or knitting book? Like pattern books?
Let me see. You mean like Crochet World and stuff like those, or any?
Me, I don't have any actual like books, but there is one that I found on Amazon with gnomes. And that one looks like it would be interesting.
Yeah.
And then like there's one too that I've been eyeing for like lace work shawls with knitting.
Yeah.
But it's like I've never actually bought a pattern book.
Yeah, I got one off of Amazon, but it was crochet. It was stitches. It had like a bunch of different stitches. But I think the one, my favorite I received is Happy Mail. It was granny squares, but it was like the sun or strawberry, like different items are they're in the granny squares.
I love seeing granny squares when they're creative, like
Yeah,
not your typical looking granny square.
yeah. Yeah, so
Spring says I don't get much sleep on a normal basis. Yeah, you're a busy girl. And Dee says I get all my patterns online, and that's pretty much the same with me. It's normally online, that mostly Ravelry.
yeah, if you see something, just go get it. Yeah, that's me too.
But sometimes I'll stumble across a website that has patterns that I like too. But yeah. Let's see. Laura Lee says I have an older book of crochet treasury crochet patterns by Blackwell. It's just different stitches I've had many years. But like I do love the stitch books. That's something that I eye too. um but in the same aspect, I tend to like if I'm learning something new, I'm more of a visual learner.
Me too. I like, yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, I can read patterns, but if it's something I've never done before, I usually have to see a tutorial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Dee
me
says
too.
she saves her space for yarn.
And for books for yarn.
And did y'all watch that video that Crystal Bagaudet posted about, the yarn point of view?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sad that she's been
Mm-hmm.
attacked like that. I just
Yeah.
and it's like,
Same.
I mean, I know people are like that, but there's that level where I can't wrap my mind around why
Mm-hmm.
would you attack her for how much yarn she has?
Believe me, if I'd have it'd be a whole wall just like in Joanne's. I would do it.
I mean, I feel so bad that she felt like she had to give up her
Mm-hmm.
yarn.
Yeah.
Granted, I would just hide it in another room of the house where people didn't see her see it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That was a shame.
it's just like she's one of the most generous people
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube. And I mean, she does a lot for the yarn community.
Mm-hmm.
She has amazing tutorials. I just I don't get it.
Yeah. Me either.
And you know, y'all know my opinion. Always be kind to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes some people forget that person, behind the screen, they have feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. You just can't say anything or write anything, you know.
you know and if you don't like somebody, don't be mean to them, just don't watch.
Yeah.
easy,
That's
easy solution.
just swipe over or that's all you gotta do.
Yeah, it's very sad. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And Pam saying, I saw that's a shame that people are just mean.
Yeah.
And Spring saying, nowadays people have nothing better to do than to pick apart others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sad thing is that's true a lot. Um, but I mean, my opinion is, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
Exactly.
And
I agree.
always try to think, if somebody was telling you that, how would it make you feel?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I always try to put myself on some level in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
You know, because some people will say things without thinking, and it's like, you know, be careful with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anywho,
Mm-hmm.
Kathy's asking, what stitch was hardest for you both to grasp?
Let me think. Oh no. You go first.
It's the Celtic weave stitch. It's like I get confused when I'm doing it.
Hmm.
And like the shawl, well, I still need to finish the shawl. I had ran out of yarn. But the funny thing is that, like, pretty much every time I had to keep rewatching the tutorial. And I do think there were some rows that I did mess up on it.
Mm-hmm. You're like,
but
oh.
but yeah, and that's one I do need to finish, because I finally got the yarn for it, but I keep forgetting about it.
Trying to think. I know the Solomon's knot thing that I was like, I tried it. I'm like, nope. The Solomon's knot, and with all the things that you could.
I haven't done that yet.
That was not pleasurable for me. And That's all I can think of right now is that one. I was like, nope. It's beautiful though. But
But I feel like sometimes like when you're having to work from the back and stuff, like sometimes it gets confusing. Um, because sometimes with tutorials you can't always tell where that hook is really going.
yeah, yeah.
So you thought of anything else or
No, that's all I can think of right now.
I'm gonna go ahead and read some of the comments and if you think of something.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Pam saying keyboard bullies that would never say what they okay, tongue-tied. But basically people that they say something behind a keyboard but they wouldn't say it to someone's face. And that's another thing. If you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't say it.
Exactly.
And let's see, we have. Oh, you were saying something?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Okay. We have Colleen that joined us. Hi, Colleen. How are you today? And what are you working on? And Laura Lee saying, I think a lot of people who can't afford a lot of yarn get jealous. And that's exactly what I think it is. It's jealousy. And she says her mom taught her if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Exactly. And that's the thing, because a lot of times, like when you're interested in something, you're going to have, on some level, have plentiful of that thing you're interested in.
Yeah.
Like if you work, if you're into tools, you're usually going to have a big, amount of tools. And and the way I look at it, it's your money. As long as you can afford it, it shouldn't matter. If it makes you happy, that's all that matters.
I agree.
Joanne says, I call it jealousy. Jesus, that's what I said. Just don't share it. It's that if share it if that's how they're being. She deserves to be happy. Yeah, like me, I would have just like put it in a different room of the house. I wouldn't have gotten rid of it. But I don't know, maybe she didn't have the extra room. I don't know. Laura Lee says, I would rather try to bring someone up than down. Exactly. Okay. Now we're getting into some of the answers to the questions. Laura Lee says, I could not get the hag stitch. My wrist won't bend right.
Oh.
I never heard of that stitch.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stitches I haven't gotten to yet. And let's see. Joanne says, I watched a live that the host was reading comments and said out loud that she didn't like some of these people. I quickly unsubscribed and do not watch her anymore.
Good.
See, and that's one thing I don't like. Whenever people like say something negative about someone else on lives, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Um, and that's one thing. Like if you're in the chat and you say something negative about someone, I won't tolerate. I typically don't tolerate it. I mean, sometimes I may not notice the comment, but
yeah.
But I mean, I feel like on my lives, be kind to everybody. Let's see. D says for me it was Fair Isle knitting. And let's see. Kathy says I want to do the Tunisian stitch, but it looks so hard. I do want to learn Tunisian. I haven't really gotten around to it, but like I did watch one tutorial and it basically looks like it's a combination of crochet and knitting.
Yep, it is. If I can do it, I know you can do it. Yeah, I just ordered a new Tunisian hook. I had the interchangeable set, but the wood that whatever it was made of, I didn't like the way so I sold it. but I got me just a singular one. I got a chaigu. I say chaigu. I don't say it that way, but and I like the way that feels. And I'm gonna be working on some Tunisian here coming up. So I open for that, y'all.
But yeah, like from what I saw, I don't think I'll have problems. At least not with that stitch that I watched. But everyone's different,
I
and
think you do fine, especially the way you knit because you know the concept of how the stitches, and you're just doing it. So I think you would be fine.
and that's one thing. It's especially if you knit,
Mm-hmm.
more than likely you'll have an easier time catching on to it. But
yeah.
like I said, everyone's different with how they learn, and what's easy for me may not be easy for you, and vice versa.
Yeah, because I found when I was finally learning to do the knitting, like I showed you, then I did something in Tunisian, and then I was like, oh, that's when that goes that way. Got it. It connected with the knitting. It's like, that's why that string goes there or behind here or front, whatever. In the Tunisian, it made sense. I'm like, oh, okay.
But next, if I haven't gotten to Tunisian this year, next year I do plan to do my temperature blanket Tunisian.
Okay.
So I'll definitely have to learn it next year.
But I didn't do it.
But
You might have to get together next year and do a project with Tunisian.
There's so much you want to do and learn that, I mean, it's just when you finally get there.
Yeah, I'm doing it and starting it.
Or you see like a new pattern and you're like, ooh, you get distracted.
Yeah.
Let's see, we have Chris and Angela and Mindy that joined us. I think that's it. Yeah, that looks like everybody. How are y'all doing and what are y'all working on? And let's see. Spring says Tunisian isn't hard at all. You can do it and practice with a regular hook. And really that is one thing. Always stay positive. Because a lot of times, you can do things. Don't let projects intimidate you.
Yeah.
Think positive. Oh, Chris is asking how's the weather up there in Alaska.
Well, actually, I'm in Virginia right now visiting my son. But I just talked to Kathy, who is still there, and it's been raining a lot, she said, and but it's still fairly on the warm side for Alaska this time of year. So
yeah, hot. I'm so ready for fall.
Yeah, there's humidity here in Virginia. It's like, woo.
And then, well, according to my computer, we're supposed to have rain coming.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm so tired of hot weather. Ready for fall. Okay, Kathy's asking, where did you find the plus size patterns you have done? She's plus size and has issues finding patterns or knowing how to make average patterns bigger.
I had the same, problem when I started making wearables. So that's why I'd always have to adjust it. Then I get frustrated and like, ugh. So that's why when I design a pattern, I do it by measurement so that it'll fit no matter what. I mean, you just go by your measurements. So that's where all the things I make that's my design are by measurements. And unless it's like a cardigan or something like maybe a Crystal's pattern, she gives you the sizes, which and you can always adjust easily, or she shows you how to do it. But it's hard to find the plus size already plus size and it fits correctly. Or there was one girl who does plus size. I can't remember her name now. Patterns, but I can't think of who she is. That's the only one I found that I found.
Yeah,
for plus size.
Because I had someone else, one of my Yorny friends, mention about how with patterns, women have all sorts of different, shapes and sizes
Mm-hmm.
that everyone's measurements are different.
Yeah.
And that was something she was struggling with. But you see, unfortunately, I'm not much help on that topic because I've never made wearables. The
Mm-hmm.
most I did was knit a dog sweater. um, and even the first time I did it, it was too small for the dog that it was meant for. But it
Okay.
but it did fit my sister-in-law's other dog. Um, so then when I redid it, I got the size right that time. But the most I can do is just search on YouTube and
And
share some links on the
it's
subject.
it's not a lot. There's not a lot of people that do that.
But uh, but yeah, that's a bad thing with like clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what's kept me away from it.
But you're
Let's.
really good. You could probably adjust, like, because you know how to construct. Well, once you learn how it is constructed, like a top or cardigan, or really by memory, like it's you can start playing with it and adjusting the size to your own body.
Let's see. Chris says, "I'm a firm believer in report if the comments are vulgar and all." Yeah. I know like those spam comments on videos. Oh,
They're a pain.
I know it's like there's some videos you get like 5 spam comments and you're like, leave me alone, go away.
Yeah.
But when I see those, I block and report it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Mindy's saying I have the same problem. The small size patterns are hard to make larger. See, I wish I could be more helpful on that, but I don't have experience,
Yeah.
with making wearables.
Yeah. Another with that is normally when the person is small, which is awesome. They fine, good and all.
Hmm.
Their consideration of large is not large. I mean, they're like, oh, add 2 more stitches for the next size up. 2 stitches, literally, like add 2 more chains, and then it'll be an extra large. No, it does not work like that.
And my advice is like, go on YouTube and search like how to adjust patterns
Mm-hmm.
or how to adjust like clothes wearable patterns, I guess.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. Kind of change the wording up some,
Mm-hmm.
and you might find some stuff that will help. But unfortunately, like I said, I'm not that knowledgeable on that subject.
And I'm not good with the math part of it, so I'm not good at like figuring the math. I just do it and see how it feel. I'm a visual, that kind of feel person. I'm not good with the math, so it's hard for me to tell people. Well, take this number and divide it by this, and make this, and this how many chains.
And let's see, Laura Lee saying the basic stitch. I think she's talked about Tunisian. Is actually fun and addictive.
Mm-hmm.
And Mindy says the other problem is they don't tell you how much more yarn, and you're gonna need some have run out of the same lot number yarn. And let's see, Spring saying Tunisian uses about the same amount of yarn as crochet. Pam says I've been following along with Jada and Stitches year long crochet along this year. She's showing different Tunisian stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's one I've heard has a lot of stuff on Tunisian. I think Crochet Crowd does. And there's another one I can't think of the name of. I can't think offhand. But I know there's another one that has a lot of Tunisian stuff. Chris says, I'm not a fan of Tunisian crochet. It takes 2 passes to complete a row. I'd rather just knit. It's easier and faster. And let's see. Kathy says, um, exactly, or the count you need to do for Lord your saw hook. Oh, I guess the stitch count, I guess you're referring to.
Yeah, they don't give you the stitch count. Yeah.
And Dee says, for me, the biggest thing with Tunisian is counting my stitches every row to keep the right count. Yeah, sometimes counting can get frustrating with stitches, especially like especially distractions when you're
Yeah.
counting.
And one good thing about a Tunisia is though is for crocheters who don't know how to knit, they want something that looks like it's knitted. So that's something that if it's worth it for someone to do it, if they don't mind the going back and forth, is for crochet who doesn't mind, who doesn't know how to knit.
And there's also the waistcoat stitch and crochet
Yeah,
that looks like knit
yeah,
stitch and knitting.
yeah.
And basically, the only difference with doing a single crochet in the waistcoat is you're sticking the hook in the leg of the stitch,
Yeah.
like the little V of the leg.
And then it looks like it's knitted and you finish by the time the roast.
Let's see. Colleen says, she's working on a halter top for Cadence Store. Ooh, nice. Okay, and Colleen has trouble with the crocodile stitch. I always have to relook it up. Okay,
Yeah,
I guess. Oh, go ahead.
I'm saying that the crocodile stitch, it took me a little while, but I finally got that one.
I think that's one of the stitches that I want to learn. If it's the one I'm thinking of,
Yeah, it's like these little. It's
it's
hard.
pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, and D saying cinnamon stitches does. So I guess she's referring to Tunisian. But there's another one that I'm thinking of, and I can't think of it. Let's see. We have Lauren and Sabrina that joined us. How are y'all doing today? And what are y'all working on? And Lauren says she's in New Hampshire and she's working on a waffle blanket for her 6'3" nephew.
You got
He's
a long
small.
way to go.
Let's see. D says on the hook does pattern. Oh, on the hook does patterns by measurements, not sizes, so you can make any size. So yeah, those of
Yes.
y'all that have sizing issues with wearables, y'all might want to check out on the hook.
Yeah. It's Jeannie. It's my girl.
And Pam says Morley Bird has some Tunisian stuff too. Yeah, I love Morley Bird. I learned a
Yeah,
lot.
I
I
like her
learned
too.
a lot about knitting from her. That's how I learned how to read patterns in knitting.
Yeah, for the Tunisian also, TL Tony from TLTY.
Yeah,
I get the letters right. But
yes,
Tony.
it's a TL one. I
Yeah.
kept thinking it had T like letters in it.
Yeah, TL yarn, something like that. She does a lot with Tunisian
That
too.
was the one I couldn't think of. Sabrina says taking measurements are always best, and then add a little for ease for a wearable.
Yeah. Hey Sabrina.
And Colleen says same for me. It's by measurement. So Kathy says, so what measurements do I need to do for a top?
I mean, you take your own like. Oh, you mean like where? Oh, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I guess that's what
But
she means.
yeah, it depends on what you're making. Like for this summer top, I started with my measurement from here to here because I started it here and went down, and then I added the strap. So I made sure this piece right here is where I started across. Then I went around and did the rest in a circle, and then I did the strap. So I don't know if that helped any, but that's how I do stuff like that. But also depends on what you're making. So.
Yeah. I know commonly measurements you usually is, up there, sometimes like the waist, the
Yeah,
hips.
yeah, yeah. The length of your arm. Yeah.
Let's see. Pam saying cinnamon stitches has plus size patterns. And Colleen says, for example, if the starting chain is on 90 and measure you where it starts and adjust your starting chain to fit you. Yeah, like if you need larger, you probably basically go by what they recommend and then have to add to it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not not really knowledgeable at all in wearables. Oh, and Colleen saying then you adjust as you go. Okay, Doris of Rose Cottage Studio has a tutorial on adjusting patterns. She uses measurements and says try it on as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is TL Yarn Crafts, the one that
Yeah.
I was thinking of.
Yeah. Orange craft. That's it.
Okay, and Kathy saying she was meaning where and thanks for the tips. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not much help.
Not that ready. I just do it as whatever I'm making. Do it. I don't even think about,
Listen, we have VJ that joined us. Hi VJ, how are you today? And what are
Yay.
you working on? Okay, my next question is what is your favorite baby item to make?
Me, me and baby items, I call that my nemesis. I don't like to make baby stuff. I don't know why. I don't like to make it's cute and I think it's adorable, but I don't like to make it. I don't like making baby blankets. And I don't know why, because they're small. You would think I would just love it because you get done faster. But so I really, if I had to make something, maybe a little baby dress, maybe like crystals, those dresses she used to make.
Those are cute.
Yeah.
Um, for me, the only baby items I made a baby blanket for a friend, and then I
Hmm.
made some baby beanies. So I
Hmm.
would probably say beanies.
Okay.
Now another thing I think is real cute are the baby booties.
Yeah, I've tried those. I guess because it's so. I guess me and small stuff just don't get along because trying to get all the stitches and make it look, and then make the other one look the same as the first one. I'm not the one. Not the one.
But the thing is, the
Adorable.
only time that I have, only reason whenever I make anything baby is if like someone I know has a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I have, like I said, I've only done the one baby blanket and the beanies.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear the weather coming. It
Uh-uh.
just thundered.
Oh.
So if y'all hear any thundering sounds, it's our weather. It's starting to kick in. We've been getting thunderstorms a lot. Okay, let's see. We have Caroline that joined us and Linda. How are y'all doing today? And what are y'all working on? Dora says, I love baby blankets. I'm nervous about their wearables, just like my own. See, that's another aspect where I'm not always the biggest fan of making like even with beanies. I think they're cute, but the heads are all different. So, I've always been nervous whenever I do make them. Is the hat gonna fit? Is the hat gonna fit? Because I know one that I made, it was I think too small
Mhm.
that I had made for somebody. But
Yeah.
she said that she was gonna save it when she has another child. So, but yeah. And even to some level on adult beanies, some of sometimes even with them, some people have still have bigger heads or smaller heads.
Yeah.
Colleen says dress. Yeah, she's made some pretty baby dresses.
Okay.
Lauren says 12-point store blanket. Everyone loves them.
Yeah.
And some of those baby blankets are so cute. Okay, Caroline and anyone else that wants their channel link dropped, if you type the word drop in the chat, Nightbot will automatically drop your channel link. So and if for some reason your link doesn't drop, then type it again because every now and then it will glitch. Okay, Linda says baby blanket. Doris says her sister-in-law makes cowboy boots and hats for babies.
That's cute.
I like the cowboy boots. Caroline says I have only made baby blankets. I think like one thing too with the drop command, I think if you type it like about the same time as someone else, it does. I think there's like a 5-second delay. So that's where it's like it don't look like it dropped Caroline's. So you might have to type it again, Caroline. Let's see. Chris says I like making baby booties, sweater and hat sets. They usually have a great awe factor. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brenda Young, she makes like the cutest little baby sets. Always love seeing like the pictures of stuff she
Yeah.
makes, and she makes a lot of cute amigurumis too.
Yeah.
And she's quick. Let's see. Pam says I've made lots of baby blankets, but not so many wearables. Like you said, sizing is a constant worry of mine. If it will fit, so I don't make them often. Yeah. And another thing too with wearables too, like gauge is very important. Always do gauge testing for that. It's a lot of stuff, you can get away with where you don't really need to do gauge testing, but for wearables, it's important. Sabrina says, love baby items and wearables for myself. Presently, I'm looking for quick projects for kids. Now, on the Southern Crocheters last live over on Barbara with Crochet Therapy's channel, we talked about quick and easy gift ideas. So you may find something you're looking for on that live. All the links that are in the description box of that live. Um I mean some of them weren't kid items. There are certain ones that are things that would be good for kids. Let's see. Chris says when I make the baby says I make them for the age they will be when their first or second winter comes. And let's see. Pam says, and I have a doll that newborn sizes fit to use as a model. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That help. Yeah, you can try it on.
All right. The
So,
next question I have is, have you ever crocheted jewelry?
I tried one time for my sister. She asked me to make something like a jewelry, but it didn't. It didn't work out too good.
I never have. I really don't know if I ever will. I mean, I know some people like the crochet jewelry, but I personally, I'm not really a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, everyone's different.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's it takes talent and all that, you
Mm.
know, but I
It's
don't know.
not.
It's like there's certain type of earrings I like to wear. And one thing I saw, someone had made. I think I saw this on Facebook. where they turned like a granny square into earrings. And I mean, it was like, and the whole time I'm thinking, that has to be heavy. I mean, I'm presuming they probably used a lightweight yarn, but it's still like, it just looks so heavy. Sabrina says, specifically 6 years and under boys. Caroline says, I'm working on a fisherman boy doll. He is so adorable. Aw. Colleen says, yes, a beautiful crocheted wire and bead necklace. Now, speaking of necklaces, there are necklaces I've seen that I like, but like typically the earrings, I'm not really big on. I wasn't thinking about the necklaces. Now I know like Stephanie with Life in Stitches, she makes some beautiful, and like, and hers is like you could use it like as a necklace or kind of like a headband, and Colleen says and earrings. Chris says I've made a few crocheted bracelets, but I haven't been that satisfied with them. Pam says I've made some crochet jewelry, but I'm not a fan of working with the thin thread. And Sabrina says love handmade jewelry. Oh, hi Sheila, how are you doing? And what are you working on? She says she's been busy with work and such. Um, Pam says it's not jewelry, but I made a bunch of keychains and wristlets. You know, you know what I think is cute? I've seen like little gnome keychains. I thought that was precious.
Excuse me.
He says yes. The thin yarn used for jewelry is hard on my hands to work with at times. Yeah, thin yarn, especially like if you're not used to using it, it tends to give you hand cramps.
Yeah.
The first time I used number one weighted yarn, oh, my hands cramped like crazy. I mean, it was bad. And it's like it felt like I was grabbing nothing. And I was just like, oh. But the more you work with it, it gets easier and the hand cramps stop. It's kind of like when you first learn to knit and crochet, you tend to get hand cramps. Let's see. Sheila says, I am working on cows for my Etsy site. Nice. She's trying to freshen up her stock. And Sparkle's here. Hi, Sparkle. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Sabrina says, I like to challenge myself to make everything I like just to see that I can. See, I like to challenge myself too. And I find that's the best way to learn. Um, and then like if I come across something I don't know, I try to look it up, usually on YouTube. And if that don't work, then I try to find somebody like in Facebook groups or yarn or the YouTube yarn community that can help. And usually, I figure it out. Somehow I figure it out. Kathy says, yes, my hand goes numb like they are asleep. And Sparkle says, I'm working on a Tunisian scarf. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share some free crochet patterns that use number 3 weighted yarn. And these are beanie patterns. I'm noticing the time and I'm like, oh, I better share share this. Let's see, Isla's here. Hi, Isla. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And hold on, we have one question first before sharing the patterns. Kathy's asking, what was the first thing that we crocheted?
I think I did blankets for first year of all. Only thing I did was blankets.
For me,
blankets.
For me, for knitting, the first thing was a headband, and for crochet, it was a headband. Okay, let's see. Let me share the patterns. Okay. The first pattern, it's a crocodile stitch owl hat by Nikki Mack. And I
Yeah,
think this is so cute.
it is adorable.
Isn't that isn't that the dragon stitch?
No, that's the crocodile. That's the crocodile.
Oh,
No,
that's what
that's
I mean, crocodile.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
that.
love that look. And I think this is just so cute. Um, but I prefer like like hats being round though.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's cute. And here's another picture. And for this pattern, they have toddler, kid, and adult size. But I think that's cute. And let's get into the next one. This one is called Morbella by Deanna Ramsey. And I think this one's cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
I love the way that stitch looks.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how it has the flowers on it. I have a thing for flowers. Oh, hold up. They have it in different colors here. There it is. But I think
Okay.
I like the blue better. And let's get to the next one. And all these patterns, the links are in the description box of today's live. This one is called Lucky Stores Beanie by Emma Sinclair, dash Emmy Claire Crochet. And these are like the bun type beanies.
Very cute.
But like my hair is so thin that it's like sometimes it I like I love beanies, but I wish I had like beanie hair, you know. And like with headbands, I have that issue because I pretty much have to have my hair in a ponytail to wear a headband because my hair is not thick enough. Okay, I got two more for y'all. And like I said, these are all free patterns. This is flower beanie hat and a cross. And they all use number 3 weighted yarn. And again, I like the flowers.
Mm-hmm. These are cute too.
I think flowers are so cute.
I like it with the button in the middle. That's cute.
Yeah, like flowers, buttons. I always find it makes such a cute touch to projects or patterns. Okay, and here's the last one. This one is Unicorn Beanie by Melanie Grobler. And look how cute.
They're cute.
You see, I like the flowers and those little like I don't know what you would call it. The little
spirals or something.
like this one, you know, it goes from 3 to 5 years, 6 to 10 years, teen, adult. That's one thing I like about crochet patterns for beanies. They most of them tend to have like all the sizes. Okay, let's see. And one thing too, at the end of the live, I will be doing a pattern giveaway. But I wanted to get the patterns out of the way because it's getting closer to the end time. I didn't want to forget about them. Let's see. Lauren's asking Sabrina if she's made indoor balls filled with polyfiber. My kids love them. I use thread, not yarn. Yeah, that would be a cute thing for kids. Isla says I took my spinning wheel apart to clean. Also, I'm working on a granny triangle shawl. Ooh. I love shawls. Kathy says it's funny you said you hadn't done granny squares because a lot of people learn crochet by doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ursula always says that it's crochet 101.
Mhm.
She's always like, "You haven't done granny squares yet." Been crocheting almost 2 years. September makes 2 years. Still really haven't done granny squares.
Yep. No, start with. We'll start with the learn.
Let's see. Everyone seems to be loving the hat patterns. Lauren says also hacky socks and filled with pinto beans as other ideas for teenagers. Let's see. Oh, Kathy made that unicorn beanie. Ooh, awesome. Okay. Okay, so the next question I have for y'all is what what are your favorite scrap yarn projects?
I like making scrap blankets myself. That way, because it doesn't matter what colors next or anything, you just go with it and it comes out pretty. So that's what I like. Like making the
See,
like scrap.
I've never really done scrap yarn projects. Usually I use my scrap yarn like to fill amigurumis, to stuff
Mm-hmm.
them. Or like if I need like a little bit of a color, I might use my scrap yarn for that. And sometimes I'll use it for tutorials. But like I've never like really truly made a project. Like
Okay.
all scrap yarn project.
Yeah, it comes out feels so pretty, and then even if you hold a couple strands together, it makes it really colorful. And yeah,
See, like one thing I find, you know, I like I like the pretty color combinations and stuff like that.
yeah,
Where like if I would do one, I would have to kind of have it like colors that I feel like go
put
together
together. Yeah.
and where like it would fit like the whole row type thing.
Hmm.
Um, where a lot of times scrap yarn projects,
Yeah, they're
you know,
just willy nilly.
yeah, I don't feel like the colors go together.
Yeah.
And,
See, for
you
me,
know,
I slap anything together and just make it. Not clothes. Usually I won't, but like blankets or items, other item bags, scrap it up.
and another thing is I typically color control.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
that's one thing where like you'll see like, with
Mm.
scrap projects it kind of
Stop in the middle. Yeah, all these breaks. Yeah,
but like I said, we all have different tastes.
yeah. Oh.
But but like I said, I mostly use it for amigurumi stuffing. Let's see. Sabrina says they're like pikemen, so I can make the ball of it. And I was thinking of amigurumi animal toy. And Colleen says put them on a clasp, and they put them on their backpacks. Let's see. Kathy says I do scrap blankets, or I will make ornaments or washcloths or table runners. Ooh. Pam says I've been making a join as you go, corner to corner using scrap yarn. It looks like a patchwork quilt. Ooh, cool. Sabrina says I wish I had a little girl to make some girly stuff. That unicorn beanie is too cute. And let's see. Chris says I like it when I can download the pattern. I like to print them and keep them with the projects. If it becomes a UFO, if I go back to it, I know what pattern I was doing and where I am in the pattern. That's a good idea. And Caroline says, I like doing scrap challenges. Awesome. Yeah, I know like the scrap projects, scrap yarn projects are really popular with a lot of people.
Hmm.
Um, but
Not your thing. It's not your thing.
but I tend to use it for the amigurumis.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sabrina says my favorite thing to make is baby items, quick items, and Christmas things. Yeah, mine is shawls and beanies, especially like cutesy and holiday beanies. I love those. What are your favorite things to make, Setta?
Um, I like blankets, and I like making the sleep sacks. That's what I call them. I like making those, and which is basically a blanket that you just wrapped around yourself, but it usually has some kind of design on it. Um, that's my favorite big thing. But I like making things with cotton. I like making like washcloths or bags out of cotton, the smaller stuff, that kind of
Let's
thing.
let's see. Pam says I'll pull it out and do a video of it so you can see what it looks like and try and tag you in it. It is a random color project, but you can also color control. Ooh, awesome. Awesome, awesome. I'm getting like tongue tied on my words today. Isla says scrap yarn is my favorite. Right now, thinking about stiffening short scraps to use like pine needles to make a basket. Oh, that would be cute.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay. Probably do one, maybe two more questions, and then it'll probably be time to do the pattern giveaway. Let's see. How do you feel about knit and crochet items being sold in major department stores?
It's I feel so bad for because you know how they had to get them. Someone to hand make that many in production, and they're charging like $20 for this. When I was on vacation at the beach, me and Dory were in this place, and they had beautiful crochet like it could be a cover up, or if you were brave, you can wear it as a dress, and it was beautiful. And they had like 15 of them, but they were crocheted. Someone had to sit and crochet that, and I think it was $20, $25. I'm like, you know how much work that is, and so I'm not fond of it. I think it's beautiful, and it's like wow, but they're not getting. But there's some people like when they want to ask us to make something, our family or friends. Oh, I can just go get paid $20, and it'll take you 120 to make it, the yarn and the time, Anyway, I'm getting all so I don't know. I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah, like now if it's handmade and the person making it is paid properly for it,
Yeah, that's
then
different.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Hmm.
Um, but if that person's not making really anything on it, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
And one thing too, and like with knitting, because you can use one of the knitting machines,
Hmm.
and I do find that like department stores that sell like the beanies like that, it takes away from knitters
Yeah.
because you know you'll see it sold in the store much cheaper than what someone that hand knitted the item sells it for, which hurts them when it comes to trying to sell what they're making because if you can, typically if someone can get something cheaper that looks
Yeah.
the same, you tend to go with a cheaper option.
Hmm.
So I do find it can hurt people that sell their work.
Yeah.
Let's see. Isla says, I saw floor length crochet dress at Walmart. They had a two-piece top and skirt for 18 down from 26 for each piece.
Hmm.
And Sheila says, I feel that the store-bought crochet items are a big disservice for those of us who sell our handmade works. It takes so long and so much work goes into the items. Because, like I said, like if it's handmade and that person is being paid, what they should be, that I don't have an issue. But if that, but then in the same aspect, I also wonder why, like someone that crochets, and stuff would sell it that cheap to like a department store.
I think most of those are done over in different countries, and it's being abused. The workers, work
Yeah,
time, but not getting paid. So that's
that
what
would that would make sense. I didn't think about that.
I think. Yeah, that's what I think.
And Sheila says people want it cheap. Yeah, because I always hear those stories that somebody wants you to make something, and the moment you tell them how much,
Mhm.
they're like, no. Or I've also heard stories where the person agrees to the price, then when it comes time to pay,
Yeah.
they're trying to get the person to go down on price.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't sell my work, or hardly ever sell it. I mean, there have been a few times
Mhm.
because I mean I've seen it where I had someone telling me that they wanted me to make something, and I go and I buy the yarn, and then when it came down to like trying to find out exactly what type of pattern they wanted, they never
Mhm.
got back to me. They
Mhm.
said they would, and that's one thing I learned. It's like I'm not going to go buy yarn unless I know for sure.
Yeah. Another way to do it is you have the person buy the yarn and bring it to you. Okay, they bought the yarn, then and even still before you start your work, you get paid half for it. I mean,
A lot of That's how a lot of people do it, or they'll
yeah,
make them pay for the yarn up front.
yeah, pay for the yarn up front or go get it if they know what they want, bring it to you, or pay for it. And then at least if they say no, you didn't, you got some yarn, or if you give back to them, or whatever.
But
But
to me, like when it comes to selling stuff, I get nervous with it because, like, one, I worry about how long it'll take me.
mm-hmm,
You know, because I don't want the person to get impatient.
mm-hmm,
Um, so that's one aspect I worry about, and I don't always know how long something's going to take me to finish. You
yeah,
know, especially bigger projects. And then the other thing is, I always have that fear. Well, what if they don't like how it comes out?
mm-hmm,
And
yeah,
some people will complain just so they can get something for free or cheaper.
yeah,
Especially like if you sell it on sites like eBay or something,
mm-hmm.
because you send it out and then they're wanting a refund, you know, because oh, I noticed a boo boo here.
Yeah, no.
So that's like what kind of makes like where I'm not comfortable selling.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a level where I probably should, because I know I have gotten lots of requests for like beanies where I get contacted. Could you make this for me? And it's like, but I'm typically like when I do sell stuff, it's usually people that I know.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like people like out of town, where you got to mail it and stuff, I'm not comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my my thoughts on that subject. Let's see. Isla says I was mad about the price, but excited that crochet might become mainstream.
Yeah.
And Sabrina says, I just made an item to give as a gift to someone who really appreciates and knows how to care for the item. Nobody really likes to pay for the item, but will pay the value of yarn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's and don't get me wrong, I do see it both ways. Because as a crocheter knitter, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I do believe that people should pay, you know, what it's worth type thing. But in the same aspect, you know, when you're looking to buy something, it is pricey. So I do get where people feel like it's expensive.
Yeah.
But I also believe that, a person should get paid for the work they did.
Yeah.
And Kathy saying, I feel that the enjoyment that someone shows when I give a crochet item to them is the best payment I can get. And if I made to sell, it would only be small, quick items because people think things are too expensive. They don't want to pay for the time to make them, and that's exactly where the problem is.
Yeah. I agree.
Which is also why I learned how to crochet and knit.
Yeah. Do it for yourself. Hey, it's like it's cost a yarn, and then but you're in your own pleasure of time to make it. Then it's different.
Exactly. Let's see. Chris says someone once asked me how much I would charge. Ooh, did y'all hear that? It just
Ooh.
thundered real loud. Let's see. Chris says someone once asked me how much I would charge for a woven scarf. Um, I told them that the yarn I had used cost me $80. It took me 10 hours to make at $10 an hour, so 160. They were shocked.
Yeah.
And that's like I said, that's exactly where the issue comes. And some people that's why they don't sell their work, because how do you put a price tag on your time?
Mm.
Let's see. Chris says, unlike the big box stores, we makers have to pay full price for product, hence the price tag. And Pam says, I found that if you send them to get the yarn or go with you to buy the yarn, it helps them to see the actual
Yeah.
cost that goes into making it.
Yeah.
Because exactly, sometimes, I mean, just the yarn, you're paying like $20 for the yarn, and sometimes more if you're doing like the fancier yarns.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and that's not even counting any profit for yourself or the time you put into it.
Exactly. Yeah, I just made that corner to corner blanket out of the rainbow yarn for a friend of mine, and it was the cake yarn, Karen cakes, and in Alaska, I think they're $12 there, but I did get it on sale, but it back to the normal price by the time you take it on sale. So even if say $10, I think it took seven cakes. That's $70, and then time to make it, and then I had to mail it. But I didn't charge all that. But
And really, that is one thing too that adds to the cost if it has to be shipped.
yeah, but
Let's see. Chris says, sorry, 180 for the scarf. It was silk and alpaca. It was a yummy scarf. Ooh, it sounds yummy. And Chris gave it to their BFF. She's a crocheter and knows the quality of a handmade item.
yeah,
And that's the other thing, because some people don't realize it. It's not like it's an
yeah,
intentional thing. They just don't realize how much
yeah.
the yarn costs, the work that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sheila says, have you seen the mainstream items on the runarounds going for thousands of dollars?
On the
I,
runway,
I
like
think I did kind of see something on that. I think I did. I know I saw something to do with the runway. I know that. Oh, let's see. We have Amanda that joined us. Hi, Amanda. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? I see Chris says, I do the same thing. I will tell them if they will go buy the yarn. I will pay for the pattern and I will make it for them. I have yet to have someone bring me yarn to make a project. Or that's another thing too. If you have to buy a pattern, that gets added into the cost. And let's see. Well, I mean, it depends on the person too. Some won't charge for that, but I know if I have to buy a pattern, I would add that into the cost. Let's see. VJ says thunder. Wow, I thought something was falling in your house. Okay, so I did hear it. I know on my side it was loud.
Yeah, it was loud. I was like, what?
Let's see. Mindy says that she has 5,000 for a crochet dress. And let's see. Caroline says, I say price your worth. Not everyone can make a crochet toy, and they are unique and it's priceless. And that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Kathy says it's corner to corner blankets, rather easy to do. And do they work up faster than line by line? Oh,
I think they go up real fast myself. That's why I like it.
I've never made a blanket doing corner to corner. I made a scarf.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think I found it took about average time for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's been a while since I made that scarf, so I don't really remember how quickly it actually worked up. Um,
Yeah, I love corner to corner doing blankets and washcloths. Anything for me, it goes fast. Maybe it just feels like it because I don't know, but for me, it seems to go fast.
I love the I love the Grafgan corner to corner blankets.
Yeah, I have to. Every time I try to do graph scan like that, I get so caught up on it not looking right when you put them together. And you have a certain way you have to turn it, to make sure it. So I give up.
Let's see. Amanda saying we are having our first bit of food in our new place. So did y'all get everything moved, Amanda? Let's see. Yeah, Pam says she finds the traditional corner to corner blocks go pretty quick. And let's see. Kathy's been wanting to try corner to corner. Now, one thing, like this is something that like I struggled with corner to corner. Um, First off, you're gonna, especially at the store, you're gonna probably get confused how it's supposed to, like, how it's supposed to be like positioned because you have kind of like these little triangle points, and you want those pointing up. And like one of the first rows, it's like it's real kind of twisty. And at first, I'm like, how does this go? How does this go? And I had to watch quite a few tutorials to see how it actually went. I do find Barbara with Crochet Therapy. She did a scarf pattern in corner to corner, and she did an excellent job showing how to do corner to corner. Um, I think she did the pattern around Christmas time. It's like a I think peppermint stripe type corner to corner scarf. Um, I think I think it was the Christmas before last she did it,
Mm-hmm.
but I like I said I do find she does have an excellent tutorial. That's one thing I found. And whenever I did the tutorial, well, I missed the part about keep going to your desired length. So when Spider started closing it off, I was closing mine off. And then
And
I'm
you're
like, what do I
kidding.
do now? I'm like, because I'm thinking I must make another one and connect it or something. And I go ask a friend of mine that usually I would go to for help, and she was like, "Keep going. You don't close it off. You get it to about your desired length, and then you close it off."
Yeah. When I was learning corner to corner, there were so many tutorials, but they made it so difficult. I mean, it was all this twisting and turning, and and I tried different people, so I finally learned it because I have a tutorial on it myself. But for me, I think it's a lot simpler. I don't do all that twisting and turning. There's just a little movement and keep on moving. So if you want to check out my tutorial and see if that's easy for you. And I also don't like it when there's a bunch of holes with the bigger holes in them. So I got it to where the holes are smaller, and I show all that in the tutorial.
Because that was like when it came to corner, I did feel like most of the tutorials I checked out, they didn't really show it well enough.
Yeah, and it was difficult. They had all these things they were doing. I'm like, what are you doing?
Because it's like, okay, hold up, how is this supposed to be positioned? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and like when it came to like connecting them and all, it was just no. At that point, I had found that out of the ones I watched, Fiber Spider explained it the best.
Okay.
Um, but but I think I still had to in some sections view other tutorials still too.
Yeah.
Um, but now I hadn't watched yours, so but
Right. Hopefully it'll help. If not, just stick it like everything from all the different ones, put them together and pick out what you like and make it work.
but yeah, check out Setta's too. It sounds like hers is a good one.
I hope so.
And Barbara with Crochet Therapy, I find she explained it well. But the thing was that when I did corner to corner, she didn't have that tutorial out yet.
Oh.
So, but once you get the hang of how it works, it's very easy.
Yeah.
And after so many rows, it falls into place. Let's see. Sabrina says people will pay big bucks for the fashion in stores or boutiques, but turn their heads on other vendors unless it's cheaper. Yep, that's true too.
Yeah.
And Sabrina says true. They can duplicate knitting on a machine, but they can't duplicate the crochet stitches on a machine. And that is the thing, especially with knitting, because the machine, it's so easy to make them up. So they can charge way cheaper. And I find especially, with knitting, I find it hurts knitting more because of that. Because you can duplicate the stitches on a machine. And Isla says it's funny how we accept the price of garments at a couture store, but then we question small business owners on their price. The only difference between the two is marketing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Amanda says, "Yeah, we did. We were at it until 3 a.m. Oh, you must be tired, Amanda. Or did you sleep in late today?" Pam says, "When I'm doing the join as you go, see corner to corner, I put a stitch marker on the front side of the bottom right square so I can keep up with how it's supposed to lay." Yeah, I put when I did it, I put a stitch marker on the front side. Let's see. Sabrina says, "It's a top you're wearing double crochet throughout the whole top. It's very pretty and love the colors."
Oh no! This is the Setta summer top pattern. It's double crochets up here, but then the rest is, well, I don't remember. I don't remember what I did, and then it gets a little different, bigger up down here. Then it's mesh at the bottom.
It's pretty.
Thank you.
Let's see, Chris is here. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Amanda says, I love Fiber Spiders tutorials. Yeah, he
Mm,
does have some good ones. Like,
good.
he has the virus stitch one. Oh, and one day I want to do the virus granny stitch shawl that he has the tutorial on. And let's see. Pam says, I don't remember how I learned the basic corner to corner, but I did use Fiber Spiders tutorial on how to join as you go. And Amanda says she's going to check out your corner to corner tutorial set.
Thank you.
Okay. And people are saying your top is pretty.
Oh, thank you. This is one of these colors came from under the calendar cow. I think it was it May? No, I don't remember which month it was, but this is why the colors are these. Matches the calendar.
All right. I am going to get into the pattern giveaway and then wrap things up. I'm already over my normal time.
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we?
Let's see. Let me pull up Nightbot. Let's see. Yeah, I normally try to keep my lives at about an hour and a half. I went over today. Okay, let's see. What should I use for the keyword? Let's see. Since Setta loves purple, we're going to use the keyword purple.
Yeah.
Okay. So this giveaway is for one of my patterns from my Ravelry store. Y'all can pick whichever pattern y'all want. Now, most of my patterns are knitted. I do have 3 that are crochet. The Easter plaid beanies crochet, the patriotic scarf, and one of the alien beanies or crochet. The rest of my patterns are knitted. So type the word purple if you want to be entered into the giveaway and start now. And this is for a pattern from our Ravelry store. And I'm trying to think if I have any announcements I want to share with y'all that I hadn't mentioned. Oh yeah, the 5 Yarnaholics go live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on Cindy Lou Who's channel with Pups and Crochet. Oh, hi Mary, how are you doing today? But yeah, the 5 Yarnaholics live is tomorrow. So I hope y'all can make it to that live. I think because I mentioned all the picture videos and lives y'all can submit pictures to. um, I think that's all the announcements. Going to give a little more time. Oh, Mary says she's doing well. She's been lurking for a while. Yeah, I still see people typing in the keyword. Okay. Okay, I'll give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and stop. Okay, so let's see who the lucky winner is going to be. Good luck, everyone. And the winner is Pam with Be Creative Crafts. Congratulations, Pam. You are the lucky winner. And I need you to send me an email at justanotherstitch2020 at gmail.com. It's at the bottom of the screen right now. And it's also in the description box of all my videos and also on my about page. So yeah, send me an email so you can claim your prize. So do you have anything you want to say, Setta, before we wrap things up?
Um, just tell everyone not to forget to check out my new channel, Setta's Place ESG. And thank you for having me. I enjoy talking to you and working my crafts with together. And have a blessed day.
Yeah, I want to thank you for coming live with me, Setta. I enjoyed having you.
Thank you.
And I want to thank everyone that came out today and watched today's live. I enjoyed chatting with all of y'all, and I hope y'all enjoyed the live. Also, I want to welcome those that will be watching the replay. And if you do watch the replay, leave a comment, let us know. Also, feel free to answer any of the questions we asked on today's live in the comments section. And I think that covers everything. So I hope everyone. Oh, Sabrina's asking, what does isn't it VSG you said?
VSG. That's the kind of weight loss surgery I had. Vertical
Yeah,
sleeve.
yeah, that's the name of it. But yeah, I hope y'all all have a fabulous Yorny day. Be the light and bye.
Bye.